At Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, I'm catching up with Pei, the man who successfully co-founded OnePlus to later move on and establish his own nothing. Welcome to CNBC TV18.
See you again.
Good to see you again, Carl. Now, 2022 has been sort of a landmark year for you, making your presence felt in the smartphone market with your first phone launch and then setting up a retail store, your first in London.
Exactly.
So what does 2023 hold for Nothing?
I think the thing that I'm most excited about is our engineering capabilities have really been beefed up compared to before. When we were building the Phone 1, we had a very small team in the beginning. And as we developed the product, we kept hiring more people, but they were like very fresh and very new to the project. But now everybody's already worked together for some time. And in addition to that, we also brought the software in-house. So for the Phone 1, a lot of our software was outsourced to other companies to help us develop because we didn't have the time to build our internal team that quickly.
Yeah.
So with a much stronger engineering team, we're going to be able to bring more and more things in our roadmap to life. We had a lot of ideas that we wanted to build, but we weren't able to until now.
Sure. So, hope you are able to achieve whatever you aim to this year. But I'm tempted to ask you, you're someone who has built not just one, but two smartphone brands in a decade's time. In this rapidly evolving, market, tech space, what does it take to really do that?
Naivety.
Naivety.
I think Nothing is a lot harder because we're not a part of a bigger company. So every little thing we have to think about ourselves, from supply chain to capital to human resource, etc. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Is my advice to other people. It's just because it's so complicated. If you're making an app, you just need to make an app. But in our business, you have to do supply chain, you have to do engineering on the hardware side, on the software side. You have to do design, you have to do marketing, you have to do customer service, you have to do sales. It's like, how can you do all of that? It's just so complicated.
Yeah.
So what it takes is actually not a great idea, but rather that all those functions that I talked about, they all need to work together.
Yeah.
Like the integration of all those capabilities, that's what it takes.
Yeah. So not just a great idea, but, to endure through bringing in all those functions together. What is your assessment of the India market today, being the largest smartphone market in the world?
I'm very bullish on India and India's economy. I think this year it's going to grow by 6%, while large parts of the world are going to fall into a recession.
Sure.
I think the population is very young, so there's a lot more they can contribute to building the country and the economy. I think we have a great start in India. I was able to meet the Prime Minister recently on my trip, so I'm still really grateful for that because in that meeting we were the only startup company. All the other companies were very established. So I think there's a affinity for our brand in the market already. So hope to build upon that. It's going to be an important market for us going forward. A lot of our manufacturing is already done in India.
Yeah, and you must have also met some of the Nothing community members while they're in the country. What do they say about the device and, what is their feedback? Because, you must have definitely taken feedback and probably developing the next one basis that.
Yeah, we've taken a much more thoughtful approach to building our community. Like we had a meetup when I was in Bangalore with our community, but you have to have showed some kind of early faith in the company to have been invited. So if you were an early investor in our company, or if you bought the Phone 1 on pre-order without knowing how the product was going to be, you could have a chance to go to our event. So actually the quality is it's much higher.
Yeah.
The quality of discourse is much higher. We actually get a lot of criticism. Like in our community meets, they're like, hey, why did you do this? Why did you do that? You should have saved money on this and done that instead.
Sure.
So I think in broad strokes, people are excited that finally there's a new player trying to do something different. because the industry got really boring. So that's like the common theme that everybody's supporting. I think on the Phone 1, one of the things that we've got a lot of feedback on is that, we have this really cool glyph interface on the back. So how can we make it more useful?
Yeah, sure. I am also tempted to ask you, as we hold our breath for the Phone 2, what do we expect from the device?
So we haven't launched the product yet, but what can I say? It's going to be a more premium device, for sure. Our engineering capabilities have vastly improved from before. So we're going to be able to do a lot more on the software side that we weren't able to do before.
So you are saying that it's going to be a more premium device. So does that translate, or does that mean that it will compete with the Samsung Flip Folds, or probably an S23 Ultras of the world? How is it going to be premium? Will it compete with the 13 Pro Max, 14 Pro Max on the iPhone?
I think our approach is to make our products more and more differentiated. So we took the first step with the Phone 1. The Phone 1 was quite different from other smartphones at that time. The Phone 2 will be even more different than smartphones at its time. So I don't really know who it's competing with. We're just trying to bring some more interesting and thoughtful technology to the world.
Sure. We are meeting at MWC, Carl. What are your takeaways from the event this year?
I posted a tweet, I think yesterday, that it's quite boring compared to 5 years ago. I'm mainly here for meetings with our partners and the press. I haven't actually walked around, but I don't think I haven't heard about anything that's I really need to check out yet.
Yeah, but you have been doing or reviewing the latest flagships and the devices that have been launched in the market over the past couple of months. If I were to ask you, what is it that you are looking forward to do a review of out of the launches at MWC?
I'm currently reviewing the S23 Ultra.
Yes.
From Samsung. After that, I don't know. I think I had a Twitter poll, and the top voted thing for me to review was Tim Cook. As a CEO review.
What is your assessment of him?
It's one of the best. One of the best, but I need to explain it in a more kind of longer form content, I think.
Yeah. So you ended last year with a retail store launch in London. Do we expect, India being a crucial market for you, as you said, do we expect a retail store in the country soon, in the coming days?
Not in the coming days, but I have been looking at some locations while I was in India. Right now we're still a very young company, and our product portfolio is quite small. So I think once we have a richer portfolio of products, it makes more sense to move more heavily into retail.
Yeah, but you are looking at options in the country. Will you be kind enough to share the locations with us?
I checked out locations in both Delhi and Bangalore.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful. All the best for the coming days. Thank you so much.